Hey y'all, it's Chloe and we're back with another Married at First season 13, episode 13. And y'all, there's no hope. I mean, besides Michaela and Gil, there's no hope, okay? I would say within like 15 minutes of this, that daggone Johnny worked on my nerves already, okay? Between him and Ryan, I just don't get it. Like, why sign up for this show? Why? All right, y'all. So before we get into this, can you guys do me a favor? Like this video, comment down below, and subscribe to your girl's channel because we are on the road to 5,000 and I'm super excited. And I love you all. Thank you so much, okay? Now that that's out the way, let's get into this daggone review. We getting to see where all the couples are now in their relationships. I mean, why was Zach calling Michaela a bum? I'm not really sure. He's sitting there like, this is what she's doing, being a bum. How long are you going to be a bum? I'm sitting here like, Zach, okay? Ryan shows us Brad room, and I was like, ooh, child. Like, ooh. Ugh. He said it's alarming, and I said, yeah, it's a little rough. It's a little rough, okay? I'm trying to give her the benefit of the doubt because, you know, she's going through a lot with losing her dog. Okay, she in this house with this man who don't like her. So she got a lot going on. The world is taking over, okay? So I'm trying to give her the benefit of the doubt and just say she's not like this all the time. It's just something that's happening to her, and she's trying to get a hold of it. That's what I'm going with. That's what I'm going with, okay? Now, Johnny goes to see Ryan to play pool and hang out and talk about their marriages that they both are not really trying in, okay? So Ryan's sitting here like, oh, how's everything been? He's like, it's been going good, or whatever the case may be. And then Ryan was like, well, you're getting what you wanted, right? And he's like, yeah, like everything's been going good. She's been trying, okay? Like this last week, we went out bowling or whatever the case may be. And like we was having a lot of fun. And when we watched the video of them going bowling, okay, it looked like they was having an okay time. I'm not going to say it looked like they was having the most fun, okay? Val didn't want us to see the score. She like, no, it's not about the numbers. It's not about the numbers. And I was sitting here like, child, you know Johnny don't like when you act like that, Val, so stop it, okay? Because he about to start complaining on you in a few minutes, okay? But anyway, while they're sitting there talking, Johnny's saying that, you know, it felt natural. It didn't feel forced, okay? And then Ryan goes, well, I can't force it anymore. I said, Ryan, you're not forcing it, okay? You're not doing anything to be forcing this. I can see if you was like trying to make it work with her. You're not even trying, so how are you forcing it? But okay, is that's how you feel, right? Johnny's like, so do you feel sad about that? And he's like, yeah, because it's like she didn't do anything wrong, and I don't think I did anything wrong. And I'm like, you're doing something wrong, okay? What you're doing is you're not communicating to her how you really feel, which is causing her to behave the way she's behaving because she doesn't know what's going on. So both of you are just totally disconnected, and you're just going through the motions of what you claim is a marriage, okay? So if you could just, you know, communicate to her, what's the problem? Why are you disconnected from her? What don't you like about her? In a nice way, then maybe we can get somewhere, but you won't do that. Instead, you won't even try. You won't even have a conversation with her. You just sitting there like a lump on the wall and just letting this go through for the next couple of weeks so that you can say no on decision day. It is what it is. We get it, okay? So then Johnny brings up the fact that, you know, that him and Val be having like different communication styles and things like that, and how he feels as though now that he communicated what he needs from her, she's trying, almost like she's trying too hard. I said, I told y'all when a girl start trying, he gonna complain about her trying, because now she's trying too hard. I just like, Val can't win for losing, okay? No matter what the girl do, if she does what Johnny wants, Johnny will complain. Oh, now it's like you're trying. Now it's like you're forcing it. Didn't you just say it was natural? It felt natural, but now it's too hard, like she's trying too hard. Johnny, you make no sense to me. You already aggravating me. Already, okay? We just started this episode, okay? Johnny does ask Ryan, like, do you think if we could just focus on the positive things and not the negatives, then maybe, you know, things could be better? And Ryan's like, no, that's not how real life works, okay? There's negatives that need to be addressed. But then again, you're not addressing them, Ryan. So you're just focusing on the negatives. It's okay to focus on the positives sometimes, because sometimes the good can outweigh the bad. But if you're always focused on the negatives, then they begin to outweigh the good. Get what I'm saying? You get what I'm saying? Johnny feels like Ryan has been very negative in this situation. I said, Johnny, You feel like Ryan has been negative? Have you not taken a look in the mirror? He's almost like, maybe I shouldn't have went to talk to Ryan, okay? Because now I'm back feeling the same way I was. And I'm like, exactly, okay? You can't take two negative people and put them together and expect for them to come out with a positive. It's just not going to happen. Johnny is already negative. Ryan ain't trying to give up his negativity. And you put them together and it just becomes a negative party, okay? Now they just want to sit there and complain about these women like they the best husbands in the whole entire world. So Johnny goes to talk to Bao, and when they sit down to talk, he tells her that they have some things to work on, okay? That they need to work on, trust and communication and building a friendship. And Bao was like, I kind of like disagree on this whole friendship situation. Like, we cool at being friends. That's not the problem, but we need to focus on building a real relationship. Like a husband and wife, like a romance, okay? Like that type of stuff. And Johnny gets frustrated because he just can't understand what the heck Bao's trying to say because it's not the same thing that he's saying, okay? He doesn't listen. He said as soon as she opened her mouth, he immediately shuts down, okay? So Johnny wants to bring up how, them having sex is like him just going through the motions. And Bao was like, I'm just trying to understand because when we was having sex, I can tell it was something like we had a lot of chemistry. We had a lot of stuff going on. And I'm like, exactly. Y'all definitely had a lot of things going on. Okay, y'all definitely was getting it in. Okay, you definitely was, telling her that you want more of that. Okay, you was doing that. You was doing that. And when she was doing it, it's a problem. Now you was just going through the motions. Johnny, say what you want. You was using her for sex. And now that you realize you don't really like her like that, okay? You just don't even want to do that no more because you got what you wanted and it's not what you wanted it to be. And it's like, I'm good on you right now. Okay? So now all of a sudden Johnny wants to take sex off the table completely. And I'm just sitting here like, y'all been having sex. Y'all want to work on this relationship. So why wouldn't you continue to build that intimacy, that romance that you guys are trying to get to? Okay, obviously you don't want that, Johnny, because if you wanted this romance that you claim, then you will be willing to, focus on, your intimacy and building that stronger connection. Because y'all, let's call it what it is, okay? The difference between any type of relationship, okay, when it becomes romantic is the sex, okay? Because you can have relationships and friendships with everybody, okay? But you're not supposed to be having sex with everyone because that builds a deeper connection. So if you want to be friends, then of course focus on the friendship. But if you want to be married, then of course work on the romance and the intimacy and building that connection that separates the connections that we build with everybody on a regular basis. That's what separates us from just regular friendships. We have friends that we trust and confide in. We have friends that we can be our complete selves with. We have friends that, we let our guards down with, but we don't get intimate with our friends, okay? We don't have romance with our friends, okay? So those are the things that they need to focus on, not the friendship. But Johnny don't seem to hear me, though. He don't hear me, though, or Bao for that matter, okay? Now, Bao says that and then she seems like she's being forced to go with whatever Johnny wants, okay? It's both of them in this marriage, so why is it only you get to say what we doing in this marriage? And I'm like, for once, Bao, speak up for yourself. Thank you. Why is it always about what Johnny wants and how Johnny thinks that this relationship should go? Like, I've been saying it for the last couple of episodes that it's always about Johnny, what Johnny feels, how Johnny feels things should go. Like, you're in a relationship with a whole nother person. Are you ever going to take in consideration her feelings? Absolutely not, because whenever she says something, you're going to catch an attitude, you're going to get upset, and you're going to say something to hurt her feelings. On purpose, though. On purpose. He just doesn't know what to say. He just doesn't know what to do. And he gets up, and he catches the attitude, and he walks away because now he's frustrated because Bao wants to be included in the relationship, wants to be included in the decisions that they make on their relationship. I'm like, that's typical Johnny for you. Just get up and walk away. She's like, where are you going? What are you doing? Like, we're just having a conversation, but he can't handle a grown, mature conversation without catching feelings and getting attitudes for no reason, okay? Bao's at the point where she just don't think Johnny wants to be happy at all. I don't think he want to be happy, because if he wanted to be happy, he will focus on being happy, but instead he want to always bring up the negativities all the time. I'm like, that daggone Johnny should have never went to go talk to Ryan because they just ruined everything all over again, and now we're back at square one. That's where we are, okay? So now it's time for all the couples to meet with Dr. Pepper and Pastor Cal separately, so we can get a real idea on how they feel about these marriages, so we can see like where we're heading towards decision day, if we're leaning more towards a yes or we're leaning more towards a no, okay? And I'm just gonna say, I feel like everybody should just be leaning towards a no besides Gil and Mirla, but let's just hear what they got to say. So when Gil meets with Pastor Cal, you know, he's telling him like everything's great, like we're very honest with each other. She's very caring, like we're meshing very well. Okay, so so Pastor Cal asks him like, so is there anything that she does or happens in this relationship that will cause you to say no on decision day? He says, it's an attitude, okay? She's always complaining. She's like a Debbie Downer. And like, she bothers me when she gets like that because now it's affecting my mood, okay? And I can't deal with that. And that will cause me to say no. So then Pastor Cal was like, so do you feel like her attitude is just too much? He's like, yes, it's absolutely too much. So Pastor Cal basically wants him to go over and ask Mirla why she's always so negative. Okay, why are you always so negative? Why are you always catching attitude? Why are you always complaining? What's wrong with you? I said, oh, Gil about to go in there and start a whole argument with Mirla. Okay, it's about to happen. It's about to happen. But anyway, so now it's time for Mirla to go meet with Dr. Pepper, y'all. And Mirla is a little lit. Okay, she said that she was nervous, but she done had some martinis and she's cool now. Okay, and I just want to tell you that I like drunk Mirla. Okay, she just seemed more open, more honest, more bubbly, more happy, more everything. Okay, and when she sat down, Dr. Pepper was like, well, I know you just came out from having a few, you know, drinks and some fun with your friends. Okay, but we got some stuff to talk about. And the fact that she was drunk, but she wasn't drunk to the point where she couldn't really talk about her relationship, I was like, good for you, Mirla. You know how to handle your liquor, girl. Handle your liquor. That's grown woman-ish right there, honey, because sometimes when I get drunk, I can't even focus. Okay, so when Mirla sits down and she starts talking to Dr. Pepper, you know, she's just talking about how bad she really wants this relationship to work. Dr. Pepper calls her out on being very critical, and she's like, I am critical. I said, oh, I love drunk Mirla, okay, because she was like, I am critical. It is what it is. I don't know what you want me to do, okay? She says that she doesn't have that much filter. She can't really, you know, like, not say what's on her mind. She just doesn't process it. Whatever is on her mind comes straight out her mouth, okay? Dr. Pepper says, but I'm just concerned that you being this critical and not really thinking about the things that you're doing and saying will cause you to lose your husband, the one that you want so much, okay? Mirla gets in her feelings a little bit. She gets a little emotional, and it felt good to see her be a little bit more vulnerable, okay? She starts crying, and she's saying how, you know, she really how she really made the choice to love Gil and how he's everything she wanted and more. And I was feeling it. Like, I was just sitting here like, how did we get here? Because I didn't see Mirla being that girl to like just open up and be vulnerable and be actually happy in this marriage that she was set on, especially because it wasn't her ideal man. And I was just like, see, this is what happens when you try to work on it, okay? You get to the point where you got to look past some of the negativities and look at the positives, because sometimes the positives outweigh the bad, Johnny. Sometimes they do, okay? So now it's time for Zach and Michaela meetups, okay? So Michaela goes to meet with Pastor Cal, okay? Now when she sits down, she looks beautiful. I was really here with a white shirt. Her skin looked flawless. The hair, the makeup, the lipstick was popping, okay? She put her little purse down on the floor. I was like, I don't know why it's on the floor. Maybe she wanted us to see it or whatever the case may be. But girl, okay, superstition is put the purse on the table so that you won't be broke for the rest of your life, okay? But anyway, Michaela says that they've had only really one good week of marriage. I said, child, like, why you even here at this point? Y'all only known each other for a couple of weeks and you only had one good week. That says a lot. Speaks a lot of volumes, just saying, okay? But then she runs down a list of why they were matched, because Pastor Cal was like, so why do you think you guys were matched? And I'm like, stop asking these stupid questions. They know why they was matched. If it's not working, it's just not working, okay? We have a lot of chemistry with a lot of people. We got friends that we have so much in common with, but that doesn't mean we're supposed to be in a relationship with them. That's what that means, okay? She's just curious as to what Zach's idea of marriage is, because she feels as though he has an unrealistic idea of marriage. And I said it's absolutely true, okay? She says that she wants him to find happiness. She wants him to be happy, and that it should not be solely based on her, okay? That's a lot of responsibility that she's not willing to take on. Pastor Cal thinks that that's the craziest thing he's ever heard, because why wouldn't you want to be a source of happiness for your husband, okay? There's a lot of things that go on in this world that we can't control, okay? We go through things at work that, you know, sometimes makes us unhappy. We have realistic family issues that sometimes makes us unhappy. But when it comes to our spouses, they should have a source of happiness to bring to us to help relieve us from the stress of the real world. I completely understood what Pastor Cal was saying. But then again, it can't solely rest on her shoulders to make him happy. He has to find out why he is so unhappy overall. And until he does that, he won't even be able to allow Michaela to make him happy, because Zach has this image where everything has to be perfect, and if it's not perfect, then he's unhappy. He already expressed that in his conversation with Dr. Pepper, that his idea of everything has to be perfect, and he knows it can never live up to it, and this is why this man is constantly unhappy, which is why he do things to cause people to react a certain way and then don't understand why they react in that way. Okay, what I did understand was from that conversation that Zach was having with Dr. Pepper, was that he was having a self-discovery that he is sabotaging his own relationship. He is sabotaging his own life by thinking that everything is supposed to be perfect and it's not, which is why he's sitting there crying, talking about something. Oh, I just feel like, I just don't understand. What am I doing wrong? It's like I have this idea of what I think things should be, and it's not. And I know that people cannot live up to it. And I just feel like I'm not good enough. I'm not good enough. See, the problem is, Zach, you feel like you're not good enough. Period. It's not even solely based on this marriage. It's about you in general. And until you feel good about yourself, you can't make anybody feel good about anything else. When I keep telling y'all these people need therapy, they need individual therapy. There's a lot of things going on in his mind that Michaela can't fix for him. Okay, which is why he's so wishy-washy. Michaela has to go back and ask Zach what his idea of marriage looks like. So now, Mila and Gil are going to meet up, and Gil and Mila sitting there talking about something. I just hope Pastor Cal told Gil to treat me like a princess, even though he treats me like a princess. Homegirl was lit. And I was loving it because she seemed so happy. Like, totally not the regular Mila that we always see, okay? So when they sit down, Gil, so first of all, they are so cute, okay? She's like, give me a hug. He's like, so you gotta come here. Gil gonna make Mila work, okay? And he like, I'm gonna give you what you want, but you gonna also give me what I want, okay? So she had to walk over to him and give him a hug or whatever the case may be. And they get right into it, okay? He brings up the fact that she's a Debbie Downer, okay? Like, why do you get like that? Why do you act like that? Because I don't really have a problem with you and your feelings, but what happens is you take them feelings and you project them on me, and now I'm feeling some type of way and I'm not feeling that, okay? So she's just like, I'm sorry. What can I do better when I'm feeling like that? And he's like, just don't feel like that. I said, exactly, Mila. Like, you can't just don't feel like that. But then he tells her to, like, listen, be more affectionate, because if you're in your feelings, you're upset about something, you're uncomfortable with something, if you just, come be affectionate with me, give me a hug, it can help relieve some of that tension that you're feeling. So maybe you just need a little bit more cuddles, okay? Because Mila loves some cuddles, okay? So I'm just sitting here like, I love the way that they sat there and talked, and they communicated with how they actually felt about each other, and how they can find a way to work towards being better people for each other. It's like a regular adult conversation where no one's getting mad, because Mila could have easily got upset and was like, what you mean I'm a Debbie Downer? What do you mean? But instead, she knows that that's an issue that she needs to work on, and she's willing to do that. Now, only some people could figure out what their issues are and work on them. We all will be in a great space, but no, nobody wants to own up to what they do in these relationships, okay? Now, Zach and Michaela meet up, okay? And Zach tells Michaela that he did cry in this session, and he realized why a lot of his relationships in the past has failed, because he's a perfectionist, and he wants things to be perfect, and he realized that in order to make this relationship work, it's not going to be perfect, okay? And he has to put in the work to try to make this work, okay? Now, she's like, what did your idea of marriage actually looks like, okay? He wants to talk about, listening to music and making breakfast and have kids running around. And I'm just like, that's not a realistic idea of what real marriage is. I'm talking about, like, what do you really want in a marriage, okay? He's talking about, trust and communication. I was like, that's what we're trying to get to. Not the kids running around, not the cooking the breakfast and the music, because those are things that will happen over time. But are you even going to be able to get to those kids if you guys can't communicate and build trust, okay? Michaela is kind of hearing what he's saying, but she's just not believing it, because it's like, listen, sir, every time I think we're doing good, you say we're not doing good. And then when you say we're doing good, I say we're not doing good. It's like, make up your mind. I'm trying to, stick on the same path as you, but every time I'm on that same path, you switch it up on me. It's just like the argument that they had at the end of the night. Y'all, and we're going to get into it towards the end of this review, but it's just like Zach portrays this type of energy all the time. It's like he says one thing and then wants to do another. Like, make up your mind. You got mad at the girl for saying that she didn't think y'all was on good terms when you sat there and told her you didn't see a future with her. Now you're sitting here saying you could see a future with her. Make up your mind. That's why she don't believe you. You're not consistent. You cannot see a future and then totally the next day see a future because y'all had a good day. Like, no. And it doesn't work that way. You can't expect her to flip-flop with you. So then Michaela says that her vision of her marriage is to have romance and to have goals that they're both aiming for, okay? It's that they both can see a future for each other. He says, I can see a future for us. And Michaela is like, I wish I could say the same, but it's just hard for me to shake this feeling that you don't, okay? I don't want to let my guard down and fully get invested in this, and you don't really see it for the future like you have told me before, okay? And I think that she has never been able to move on from that because she keeps bringing it up like, oh, remember you said you couldn't see the light at the end of the tunnel? Remember you said you didn't see a future with me? Like, she's holding on to that. And she can't let it go because it's like, if I do let that go and he keeps saying that he doesn't see a future, how am I supposed to, why would I invest my time and energy into this man who actually doesn't really want to be with me anyway? Okay, so I can understand that. Now, he just says that his goal is to work, okay? Put in the work to make this work. And I'm just like, I hope that's what you mean when you say it, because I've got a feeling that it's not really what you mean when you say it. You're just saying it to say it. So now Johnny and Bao go to meet with Dr. Pepper and Pastor Cal, okay? Johnny talks to Dr. Pepper and Bao talks to Pastor Cal. I was a little disappointed in Dr. Pepper because usually she goes in for the jugular and she give it to you straight, no chaser. But I feel like this time she was like, tippy-toeing around stuff and not really digging deep into the issues that these people have, okay? Johnny tells Dr. Pepper that he's matched with someone he doesn't want to be with. And I'm just like, end the conversation. End of conversation. If you don't want to be with her, I'm tired of them trying to make these people want to be with people who they don't want to be with. You're causing this girl more damage, more hurt, more everything. If the man is constantly saying he don't like her, he don't want to be with her, he don't want to be around her, he realizing that he don't like her no more, he realizing he never liked her, why are y'all still forcing him to go in there and try to make this work and then causing this girl all this emotional and stress and trauma, okay? Dr. Pepper tells him, like, you have said some things that you need to apologize for, okay? And the conversations and the way that you're communicating is not going to help you guys grow because you don't know how not to say things in a malicious, mean way. That's why their conversations turn into arguments, because every time Johnny expresses how he feels and Bao expresses how she feels, Johnny catches the attitude, gets upset, and calls this a whole argument when it's just supposed to be a conversation. I'm just sitting here like the man's not mature enough in his mind to be able to handle a conversation or conflict. Anyway, so Dr. Pepper asked him, would he be willing to try to have a conversation with Bao and really just talk to her and explain, some of the issues that they have that they need to fix, okay? He says he's not trying to fix the problems. He's trying to find the root of the problems to fix. Like, they don't have trust. They don't have communication. They don't have friendship. He feels like they're living in the same world but seeing it in two different ways, okay? They have two totally different perceptions as to what is happening. And I'm like, no, Johnny, you're having a total different perception of what's happening. Bao know exactly what's happening. You're sabotaging this marriage, okay? She's trying. You tell her what you need. She tries to do that. You don't want that because now she's trying to her. When she's doing what she thinks she's supposed to do for you, you feel as though that's the things that she's just supposed to do, okay? You didn't ask for none of that. Like, I just don't understand. You're sabotaging this on your own. If you sit back and think about all the positive things, okay? She tried to cook for you, meal prep, bake for you. You didn't like none of that. She tried to be more spontaneous and, openly freaky for you. You didn't like that. Okay. And then when she does the things that you ask her to do, like invite you out on dates and, invite you to go yoga and jogging and stuff like that. Now she's trying to her. It's like, tired of you. Tired of you. Throw him away. Throw him away. Johnny has a lot of ideas after having this conversation with Dr. Pepper, and he wants to go back and try to, see if him and Val can make this work. He's walking away feeling positive, okay? Meanwhile, Val's about to go into her daggone conversation with Pastor Cal, but she's sitting there trying to figure out, like, I don't understand why he has to cut me so deep. Like, he always is ready to bring me down, and he does it in a malicious way. And I just don't understand. It's like he's already checked out. And I said he definitely checked out. He definitely does try to cut you down all the time, Val. And I'm glad that you're noticing it, but why are you sticking around for it? Why are you trying to hold on to this idea of what you think this marriage could be when he's showing you exactly what the marriage is? Val goes in to talk to Pastor Cal. She says that it seems like Johnny has already made his decision in his mind that he doesn't want to be in this marriage, okay? Pastor Cal says that he's threw a lot of darts at you and said some things that were very mean. And I was like, exactly, Pastor Cal, but yet you still on that iPad, FaceTime her, trying to tell her to work through his mean things, okay? Take the verbal abuse. Okay, but anyway, Pastor Cal wants her to ask him, does he feel like he's ready for marriage? I said, that's a good one. Okay, that's a good one, because Johnny claimed he was so ready. He was so ready. And then like 3 episodes in, he was crying like, I don't think I'm ready. I don't think I'm ready. I think we need to revisit that conversation with Johnny. Johnny, do you really think you're ready for marriage? Because I don't think you are, okay? Because you only want to hear your side of the story and not mine, okay? And every time I try to communicate with you, it turns into an argument because you get in your feelings. Right goes to people, Pastor Cal, and Pastor Cal was like, so how's everything? She's like, not awesome. It's a lot going on, okay? She feels as though if Ryan could be more open and willing, that this could really work, okay? She's just trying to figure out what happened after the honeymoon, that everything changed, because at the honeymoon, everything was going good. They were having a good time. He was saying how he was happy to be matched with her. They was building a little chemistry, a little romance. They was just so happy. And then as soon as they get back to Houston, something has changed. And now she's wondering if he's even capable of giving her what she needs. So now she's not even focusing on how she looks to him. She's starting to question, like, is this even the man that I want to be with? And I'm like, thank you, Brad, for finally realizing that it's not always about, if he wants you. Do you want him? It's also a question. It's also a question, okay? Pastor Cal wants her to ask him, what he thinks his wife would be. And she was like, well, obviously it's not me, okay? And then I was like, ooh, child, okay? Obviously, his wife doesn't look like Brad, okay? He wants her to ask him, when did he actually give up on this marriage? And I was sitting here like, I'm curious too, because I kept saying he's just not into her, he's just not into her. But something was telling me that he kind of was a little bit into her in the beginning of this relationship. And something has changed. Something has changed, okay? So Dr. Pepper asked Ryan, when does he feel like their marriage went sideways? And Ryan was like, listen, something happened when we talked to Dr. Vivian. I said, I knew something was up, okay? They was doing good. I know I'm not bugging. They was doing good, okay? But it happened when they started talking to Dr. Vivian, and he realized that he just couldn't force it anymore. He couldn't try. He wasn't even feeling it no more. And it was just hard for him to say, okay? He brought out a little bit of his truth, but he felt like it was hurting her feelings because she'd been through this before. And I was just like, you know what? No. I'm like, yeah. Something's up. Something's up. Because, like, I don't understand these men. I just don't understand these men, because on the honeymoon, everybody was all into everybody. And then as soon as we got back to Houston, everything just went haywire. Like, literally, everything went haywire. What is going on in Houston in the water for these men to start acting crazy when they get back home, okay? So Dr. Pepper wants to know, so when have you really tried in this relationship? Basically, he hasn't. Ryan has never really tried, okay? When they got back to Houston, Ryan had already checked out. He was done, okay? It was the flight home for him. When she was on that plane having a meltdown, he was over it, okay? Dr. Pepper tells him, you need to communicate with her what you're feeling, because she's not a mind reader. And that's all we've been asking from you, Ryan. We haven't been asking you to, like, fall in love with Brett. We haven't been asking you to make her your type. We have been asking you to communicate with her how you feel, so that y'all both can have a fair shot of making this work. But if you don't tell her what the problem is, she can't begin to work on some of the things to fix it. But then again, the things you don't like about her are physical, and she can't fix those physical things. So here we are, okay? But Ryan says he's going to put in the effort now. He's going to try to get to know her or whatever. Sure you are, Ryan. Sure. Okay, Johnny goes to talk to Belle. Ooh. Y'all, Belle looked defeated when they were sitting there talking. I just felt so bad for her, because it's like, child, why you got to deal with this man who is half crazy? Okay, so He says that he said a lot of things that he regret, and he's actually very sorry for it. Bao doesn't really think that his sorry is really, genuine, and I was like, it's probably not, okay? It's just probably not. But then he asked her, how do she think that they can communicate a little bit better? So she starts to tell him that she wants to be able to say what she wants to be able to say how she feels without him catching attitude, without him being judgmental, and without him, getting all his feelings, okay? And instantly you can see Johnny start to get mad because once again, Johnny can't take any criticism about Johnny, okay? She's like, I don't really think the root of our arguments are that big. It's just like we're having a conversation and then they blow up. Exactly, because Johnny can't handle when Bao opens her mouth, okay? She can't express how she feels about anything, or it's not gonna be pretty, okay? She asked him, are you willing to fully show up for this marriage, okay? He says he hasn't ran away so far. And I said, Johnny, you ran away plenty of times. How many times did you go to reset? How many times have you been back to your apartment? At least twice. You didn't invite her to the family cookout and all this other stuff. You're doing nothing but running away. That's all you're doing. Literally running away. Just the other day, y'all was having a conversation and you was getting ready to run away, okay? So then Bao was like, listen, I don't want to be talked to the way you have been talking to me. I don't want to be treated the way you have been treating me. And I deserve respect, okay? So, and then this is when things went a little crazy because Johnny got in his feelings because now, once again, she's telling him how she wants to be treated, okay? He can't take that. He says that he knew when he saw her that he wasn't attracted to her because otherwise they would have went on a second date before, 15 years ago. They could have been together for 15 years now if he was really attracted to her. And I said, BS. B-effing-S, okay? Because I'm trying to figure out, Johnny, then what the heck was you doing on that honeymoon when you and Jose went to pick out Bao a little outfit, when you planned a little picnic on the beach, okay, for y'all to sit there and you was, stuttering on telling her how much you like her, okay, when you was trying to build up all this romance with her. What happened? You mean to tell me that you wasn't attracted to her when you was just sitting there like, ooh, I like her little booty and all this other stuff when you was trying to, get in her pants, but she kind of ruined it a little bit because she was talking about her snoring. What happened then, okay? What was all this, you was trying to get in her pants, you telling her you like her, you was trying to romance her. Why would you tell her you wasn't attracted to her ever? Okay, because y'all never went on a second date then, but then when y'all came on Married at First Sight, you was a whole different person. If you wasn't attracted to her then you're not attracted to her now. So then why was you faking the funk? Why was you making us believe that you actually liked her? Why was you making her believe that you actually liked her? Inconsistent. Something about this is very inconsistent. You know what I'm starting to think? You know how they say that a man can like you and then once he have sex with you, it's like he don't really like you no more and that's when all the games begin. Like he'll chase you till he get it. And then once he get it, he don't want it no more. I'm thinking that's what happened. It was like he wanted to get in the draws and then when he got in the draws, he was like, okay, I'm done with her. A F-boy in pure fashion, Johnny. Y'all, I just felt so bad for Bao because like, what do you say to that? How do you respond to that? I really wish they would have showed us her response because of why did they not? Why did they not? Like, what happened after he said that? Because then we go to a scene of them playing volleyball and her over there cheerleading. And I'm trying to figure out like, no. There's something we're missing. What was Bao's response to Johnny telling her that he was not attracted to her, which is why that he ghosted her them years. And now he really, and which is why he's acting the way he's acting now. Why we didn't get that response? Child, don't bring it up at the reunion because we don't care no more. Y'all want to act like it never happened. But anyway, so now Jose goes to meet with Dr. Pepper, y'all, and he comes in like, oh, you guys did such a wonderful job. You did a wonderful job, okay? Like, I thank you so much, okay? But I do have a little bit of concerns because I'm trying to figure out how, like, not to be so controlling because I wanted an independent woman, and now that I got one, I really don't want her. Okay, Dr. Pepper was like, well, yeah, you do have tendencies to be controlling. And I was like, tendencies? Oh no, he's definitely controlling. So Dr. Pepper basically tells Jose that he needs to try to see the world through, Rachel's eyes and not just how he figured it out his world already, okay? Like look from another perspective of how you two can grow together and not how you already, made out this whole future plan for your life, okay? Add her to it, okay? Let her have some input on what, y'all future look like together. I don't know why somebody got to explain that to you in a marriage, but okay. So they bring up him locking her out the house, okay? And he says, I'm not really happy about that incident, but I'm just scared that, you know, when things get tough, she won't run. And I was like, she should have ran after that incident. That wasn't when things got tough. That was literally verbal abuse. That was literally mental abuse. That was literally, in some sense, physical abuse. You threaten to throw stuff at her and things like that. Like, what are you talking about? You're scared she's going to run. She absolutely needs to run. The fact that she's here now shows you that, you know, she's not willing to just walk out on you when she really should. Okay, she really should. But anyway, Dr. Pepper says, look, you showed her your anger. You show her how you get when you get upset. So yes, you're going to have to build that trust. You can't expect for her to just trust you off your words. You have to prove that. Jose feels like it's supposed to be an easy fix. Sir, you never even really said you were sorry, though. You never really said you were sorry. You just brought out a whole bunch of cards of promising things to not do anymore instead of saying, I genuinely am sorry for the way I reacted and treated you, Rachel, and I will never, ever do that again. This has been a lesson that I have learned that I've never had to learn before. And I promise you, I will never talk to you like that. I promise you, I will never kick you out the house again. I promise you, I will never lock you out the house again. I promise you, I will never blame you for the way I acted. Like, there's so many things this conversation could have went like, but you didn't even give an apology. And the fact that Dr. Pepper is sitting there, not really digging into his behind, was pissing me off because I'm like, Dr. Pepper, you need to get him all the way together. Tell him how effed up and disrespectful it was as a husband to do that to your wife. Talking about some, you are controlling. No. She has seen your anger. No. See, I couldn't be no therapist, honey, because I don't know how to play side. I don't know how to, I don't know how to play neutral. I just sit there and tell you exactly who's right and who's wrong, and y'all figure out how to deal with it. Okay? So now Rachel's over there telling Pastor Cal that she knows that she's with the man she's meant to be with. And I'm just sitting here like, child, the delusion is so real. This feels like last year, decision day, when everybody was having these, perfect marriages and saying yes for no reason. But anyway, she said she's going to take his word for him locking her out the house as being, an accident. I said, girl, everybody know that wasn't no freaking accident. I don't know why you even choosing to take his word. But if that's what you want to do, then good for you, sis. Good for you, okay? Pastor Cal says that you need to ask him, what can you do so that he doesn't shut you out anymore? And I was sitting here like, how is that the question that she needs to go ask him? So him literally shutting her out was her fault, because that's what it sounded like. It sounded like you wanted her to go say, how can I stop you from locking me out the house again? Y'all was saying like, what? Who gave them these degrees in this? Who said they should be the experts? Did they go under evaluation at this point? Because Pastor Cal was giving me all types of saying this abusive relationship vibes. Just saying, okay? But she does tell him like, listen, if he does this again, I'm out. I'm completely out. As you should be, Rachel. You should be going down, but you want to give one more shot. And that's good for you. Good for you. Okay. So now Ryan and Brad meet up, y'all. And I'm just going to tell y'all, they talked about nothing. They absolutely discussed nothing that they were supposed to discuss. Instead of Brad actually asking Ryan, what did his wife look like to him? She didn't ask that. Okay, she sat there and she basically said nothing. She let him do the talking of how she needs to call him out on his BS and how he's gonna fake try, but he's not gonna really try. And I'm just sitting here like, what's the point? Why would y'all even meet up to have this conversation if y'all can't even talk? You can tell that these two have not been in the same room together for long periods of time. You can tell that these two have not even built no type of friendship or nothing, because they literally could not sit there and have a whole conversation after they've been coached through the whole conversation. What did we get out of their conversation? Absolutely nothing but a waste of my time. Both of them attempting to say that they're going to attempt to try when no one's really going to try. We're going to end up back where we are now. No, on decision day. Okay? So when Rachel and Jose meet up, she wants to talk about what triggers him. I was like, a lot triggers Jose because he has little man syndrome, okay? Whenever he feels inadequate, okay? The fact that he's short, okay? The fact that, he has to bring up his credit score every chance that he gets to compensate for his little peen, okay? All that type of stuff, A lot of things trigger Jose. Calling him Johnny triggers him. Like, tell him that, his house is ugly. That might trigger him, girl. You're gonna get kicked out. You ain't gonna be able to move in. But what I'm saying is, okay, he never really answers the question. Instead, he just goes into his own question about how he knows that she was never gonna, leave when times get tough. And so she says that she realized from that last argument that they're able to, work through things and get over things and move on from things. And I was like, okay, good point. Because if y'all can move on from that, child, you can move on from just about anything. Just about anything, okay? He says that for now on, he's just going to communicate to her that when he needs to cool off and just walk away so that he doesn't say or do things to hurt her feelings. And I was like, that's a true reflection, okay? But make sure you come back and have that conversation. Don't just go cool down and then act like everything is okay the next day, because then that's not going to be a resolve to anything, okay? She wants him to know that she trusts him and she's going to stay his wife no matter what. I said no matter what. No matter what. I thought you just said if he do it again, you're going to leave him, Rachel. Be very specific on what you're saying. Okay? Tell that man, I want to be your wife and I want to stay with you. But if you ever treat me like that again, I will leave. That's what she should have said. Not, I'm going to stay with you no matter what. What kind of foolishness? See, that's what happens when you go talk to Pastor Cal. Pastor Cal have you sitting there asking the guy what you can do for him not to abuse you. Basically. Because that's what happened. But anyway, that's y'all expert. Let's move on. So now, y'all, all the couples meet up to play volleyball, and it's so cute, okay? I think their interactions together is so much fun, okay? As soon as Gil come in, because y'all know Gil is the, couple police, he like, I don't see Bow, so I'm assuming that conversation didn't go well. And then he come Bow and hello, a cheerleader uniform. Okay, give me a W, give me an I, give me an N, we gonna win. Okay, all that good stuff. I don't know why they didn't show Michaela being a cheerleader, because she was a little cheerleader too, okay? But I guess because Bow had a uniform on, it just fit the occasion perfectly, okay? So they really playing. Mila was getting her hands dirty. I said, ooh, see, that's what I'm saying. Y'all want to think Mila's not get down with the get down, but she definitely is down with the get down, okay? It just has to be something that she's willing to get down with. They all play. They sit down and start talking in their little groups, okay? Mila's looking at Bow like, I don't know what's up with that outfit. I don't know why you chose that, but it's not looking good for you, sis. It's not looking good for you, okay? But y'all, Johnny was all, happy to see Bow come out her little cheerleader uniform, okay? Acting real kid, like, okay, he wanted to walk up and give her a hug. But I was like, I'm sure it was the outfit. I was like, yeah, girl, I'm sure it was the outfit too. Don't think too deep into it, okay? He not trying to fix nothing. He not trying to change nothing. That was the lust that came over, okay? That was all that was, okay? When they sitting down, Brett tells Marla and Bow that Pastor Cal was pissed because Ryan ain't trying. I said, where did you see the piss? Because I was looking for the piss Pastor Cal and Dr. Pepper the whole episode. They seem to just be going with the flow like y'all. They didn't give y'all no real advice on nothing. I said she could relate because Johnny does the same thing, but he's just really mean with it, okay? He says he's going to try it. He says he's not going to be mean anymore. And then in our meeting, he did exactly that. Like, literally, he just told me that's why he ghosted me 2 years ago, because he wasn't attracted to me. And, like, he's basically not attracted to me now. Like, he wasn't going to do it, but he did it again. I was like, that daggone Johnny, yo, he worked on my nerves so bad. Like, I just want to give him a punch in the face one good time. Just one good time. Like, y'all, let's box up. Like, just square up with me one good time, Johnny. Johnny over there trying to tell his story, talking about something. It's like she's saying this and I'm saying that. And it's like she's doing this and I'm doing that. And it's like, it's just like, I don't get it. And I'm just like, Johnny, you will never get it because you don't want to. You don't want to, okay? You just don't want to. He basically says that, like, they have fun when they're together doing things, but, like, on a regular day-to-day, every day, there's nothing there. And I'm just curious as to what the everyday looks like. Because if he thinks that you're supposed to be up under each other all day, every day, then, yeah, his idea of marriage is screwed, okay? There's times where I'm literally sitting in the same room with my husband. He's on his iPad. I'm on my phone. And we're just not talking. And that doesn't mean that we don't love each other. That doesn't mean there's nothing there. It's just nothing there right then, okay? Like, I don't have to be up under you 24/7. You don't have to be up under me 24/7 for us to actually be, good. Like, I just don't understand what his idea of what marriage is supposed to be like all the time. Like, all the time. But anyway, so Brett says that she feels like some people view this as a real marriage and some don't. I said, you got that down to a T, Brett. If you ain't realized nothing else, you realize that, okay? Because obviously, Ryan obviously don't see this as a real marriage. You just some girl that they paired him with, and he's just waiting to get through these 8 weeks. But that's not my business, okay? But I'm going to keep watching, okay? Now, y'all, Over at Zach and Michaela's house, Zach wants to pull out the camera because now he's upset that Michaela doesn't want to sleep in the same bed as him, okay? And he's like, you want to tell him why you don't want to sleep in the same bed as me? And she's like, be sure, put the camera on me. Sure, right here, y'all. Okay, so I don't want to sleep in a bed with him because we were having a conversation about decision day, and he said his answer would be no, and I said I don't know. So therefore, like, why would you want to sleep in the same bed with me? And I was like, makes sense to me. Makes sense to me. But Zach was like, but how is that going to make things better? Like, don't you see us trending up? So, like, even if we're saying no now, then maybe we should sleep together, because if we sleep together, then maybe we might change our mind and say yes. And I'm like, Zach, you're trying to get laid. You had a good day. You probably had some drinks. You're feeling good, and you want to snuggle up. Okay, you want to get something. Okay, that's what happened. You just told this girl that you would say no on decision day, which probably led to her saying I don't know, because like, damn, you just said no. So she's probably like, I don't know. Okay, I don't know now. I don't know. And now you want her to come get in the bed with you? It don't make no sense to me. Then, okay, you get upset because she doesn't want to sleep with you in the same bed. Instead of staying in the other room, you decide to go leave. You decide that you're going to leave, and then you're going to get on a FaceTime with your brother and tell him that Michaela texts you saying that she's going to pack her stuff and leave because if you don't want to stay there, why should she? Exactly. Why should she stay there, Zach? Every time this girl has had the chance to pack up and leave, where were you? If you were there, then maybe she couldn't just get up and pack up and leave. It seems like it's only okay for you to go stay at your house when you want to, leaving her in that house all by herself. I wouldn't want to stay in this house all by myself every time you decide that you don't want to come back here, when I could go be in my house, in my comfort, in my space, and be happy. Why should I wait on you to come around when you want to come around? No, I'm going to pack my stuff and leave too. And when we want to chill together, we'll meet up here. I'm not going to sit around just waiting for you to open the door when you feel like it. Like, it don't make no sense. I'm not mad at Michaela at all because homegirl knew that he was trying to get some of the draws, okay? If you really wanted to work on this marriage and you want to keep trending up, then you could have understood where she was coming from instead of just trying to get something. Because that's all it was. So now Brett goes to meet with Ryan's sis, y'all. And let me just tell y'all, sis the real MVP. Sis is the real MVP. When she's talking to Brett's talking, trying to figure out what happened. What's the disconnect? What could have possibly been it? Okay, because no one's going to know Ryan better than his sister. And Ryan's sister said, so everything was good at the honeymoon, right? Everything was good at the wedding, right? Like, we was having a good time. Families was getting together. Y'all seemed happy on the FaceTime. Everything was cool. But then when we got back to Houston, it's like he started getting distracted, right? So maybe it's the past. Maybe it's something that's distracting him in Houston. I said, sis, you better spill the tea. What you know that we don't know? What's this distraction? Because she said that maybe if that distraction wasn't here, this could work. What's the distraction, sis? Don't do that. Okay, don't give me hints and not give me the full story. She was like, I'm gonna throw it out there, but I ain't gonna throw it out. Sis was like, I'm gonna say it without saying it. I need you to read between the lines. Read between the lines. And y'all, I hope Brett picked up on it. And she looked very concerned after that. I said, we need to pass the cow to ask Ryan, why are you so distracted? Why are you so sad? Is there anyone else? Is there anyone else? And see how that would have played out, because that would have been good. But y'all, that was the episode. Overall, it's like all downhill for everybody. Like, literally, it's all downhill for everyone. Mila and Gil seem like the most genuine, actual couple that can make it through this. Jose and Rachel are delusional. They both want to have this idea that they are what each other want and need, when in all actuality, it's just not. It's just not. But they want to keep going through the motions, and that's cool. But I'm ready to see next week, okay? Because I want to see this Hurricane K level 4. I want to see what's causing it. And I want to see if she really is crazy, as they shown her. Because the last time she had the outburst, it wasn't all her fault. It wasn't all her fault. Yeah, she overreacted, but it wasn't all her fault. But I got a feeling that the way she's reacting is not really called for. But I just want to make sure before I even, go into it, okay? But anyway, you guys, don't forget to like this video, comment down below. Join my membership, y'all. Join my membership and let me know what type of stuff y'all want for the members. And look out for my Ready to Love review, because that's on its way, okay? So shortly after this one is posted, you'll see Ready to Love posted soon, okay? I appreciate you all. Peace.